Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Thumma salatu wassalamu ala Rasulillahi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Ekitiibwa n'ettendo bideri Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Oyo omunezi w'amagulu omusanvu agulumidde ku arushiye. Era nga tumwebaza olw'ebyengero ebirungi byonna byatuwadde Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, kubanga ye yayawukana ku ffe. Teri kiri waggulu we Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Era ne arushiye naye eri wansi we. Nenzirako okusalira omubaka waffe Nabiina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallama. Oyo Allah bwe yayisizaako ekyengera ky'obusiraamu. Ekyo kye yatuwaana bwe musiraamu munnange n'abantu abalala basigadde bonna. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Erinnya lyange nga bulijjo tuba tuzze mu programu yaffe eya Fungiza Tukole Islam and Business, nga tubanjulira ebintu ebyenjawulo bikyo yenneeyisa y'omusiraamu gy'alina okweyisaamu okusobola okugenda mu maaso n'obulamu bwe, era n'okulaba nga biki by'alina okugoberera ebiri ku nkola y'omubaka Nabiina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallama. Nga tetunnabeera kugenda wala nnyo, njagala okunakuwalirako ne bannaffe Allah be yajjuluddeko, abaana bammwe, baganda bammwe, mikwano gyammwe, bazadde, banneiba nti inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Saba Allah abasaasire era bakamfatinga emitima gyammwe musobole okubanga ate munnange mufuna empeerezo Allah ze yatusuubiza singa oba omuntu agendedde ku ibaadaati. Era n'abo bonna Allah be yawadde ebirungi, ebintu ebibagattako, ebintu shukuru tetugyerabiranga bulijjo nga bajjukizanga. Mu studio olwaleero tuli bagenyi batukyazizza ku madrasat Fahad Springs, era nga ndi musanyufu nnyo kubanga ndi mu office ya director, nga ndimu ne HM wayo, nga agenda kutubuulira Fahad Springs ye nga yasooka atubuulire what were like yasomerera ki n'atuuka ku ekyo kyonna tugenda bitangaaza byonna, naye nze ndi musanyufu nnyo okuba leero nga siri mu studio za Alban TV wabula nga ndi mu office za Fahad Springs. You're most welcome.
Thank you.
Ndina HM, that means English is a must.
Yeah,
nange ngenda kwongera okuyiga oluzungu.
Kina uzu inshallah. Tujja tambula wamu. In the name of Allah, the most gracious and the most merciful, I take this opportunity to welcome you to Fahad Springs Junior School.
Thank you so much.
And I will begin with a special greeting. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I am Bamweyana Mohammed, the head teacher for Fahad Springs Junior School.
Okay, as you've heard, are you telling us more?
Briefly, as the head teacher for Fahad Springs Junior School, I'm a fully qualified teacher. You know, to become a head teacher of a school, you need first train as a teacher. Okay. Then as you keep on studying, you reach at a certain level, then you can get the qualification to be the head teacher of the school. And being the head teacher of the school, I live as a team leader, not as a ruler or what. I lead as a team leader, which has helped us to put Fahad Springs Junior School wherever we are.
MashaAllah.
Era Fahad Springs Junior School, mwena abatulaba, somero lyesiimisa eri abaana, eri abazadde, ne community at large.
Okay.
Enyabo.
So, head teacher,
Enyabo.
As we go through the process, we would like to go back right from our childhood,
Yes.
so that we can inspire any child, youth, or anybody who has lost hope to get to know, like, okay, let's inspire that person who is watching us when we go through your childhood.
Yes.
To get to know where did you start your nursery or primary or from.
Okay, thank you. From my childhood, I grew up from Palisa district. During my times in the late 1997, 98, We never had nursery schools. Could go direct in primary 1.
Where is Paris?
Paris, that is Eastern Uganda, next to Mbale. Yes. So I began from primary 1 in a school called Kagum Primary School, where I completed the primary 7. I joined the secondary school. It was Kagum Secondary School. Then from there, I wanted to go for medicine, but we were 3 kids in the same home, in the same class. So after completing senior 4, when we looked at home, the finances, the museum advised us, this course is a bit expensive for all of you.
After senior 4?
After senior 4. How do you see if you join teaching? Actually, I took it as one heart.
Wait, was it your dream, or did you ever have any interest of teaching?
Actually, when I was still in secondary level, when I looked at like my best subjects, I could see as if I could become as a veterinary doctor, because I liked biology, I liked agriculture, and I could say, in case, if possible, I can become a doctor for animals. But as we push on, when we reached there, I was given some guidance with the museum and with some of my teachers. They advised me from the secondary school, said when you take this course, it will be better than going for medicine, reach on the way you feel when the money is not there. At least this course was a bit cheaper. And according to the way I performed, actually I was getting half bursary on government in education. Therefore, I decided to take that course. And since I took it with one heart, it helped me, because during our time, there was no retake in colleges. If you fail a single paper in the first year, your program is cancelled, you have to apply again in another college. So when I heard of that, I had to read hard, concentrate to see that at least I don't fail any of the subjects. And sincerely, I did so. How did I make it? When I reached colleges, being that now this is a tertiary institution, they are not always on you as these younger primary kids. It is all about you. If you don't mind about yourself, then you cannot succeed. So from there, I befriended my tutors and so on. They became my friends. So I could easily contact them and they could help me out. And through creating that close friendship with teachers, I started getting leadership from college. I began as a class coordinator. Then when time for campaigns came, I applied, I became minister for time management. So I could manage time. So I became the minister for timekeeping. Then from there I succeeded and I completed my PTC at Shimoni Core PTC. It was 2 years course for a certificate. So after
that was serious.
It was 2 years certificate. Then after grade 3 certificate. Then after that.
So after the 2 years, you upgraded again.
After the 2 years, I joined the field.
Okay.
After joining the field, I taught for 2 years. Then I looked for some money. I started upgrading. I could do in service program during holidays. I could go to school. During school days, I go and I do work, which could help me to get the fees to facilitate myself. So from there, I went on step by step. I completed my diploma from Kampala International University. Then from there, I joined IU for my degree in education.
What? So you upgraded like 3 times?
Yeah, because with education, unlike as per now, things have changed. Because they could admit senior 4. Then after 2 years, they give you a certificate, but they take you as an equivalent to the senior 6 level. So a senior 6 level, when you join the university, can you go for a diploma? So also you go for the diploma. So from the diploma, you go for the degree. Then from there, you can proceed for masters. And inshallah, if God allows, I'm hoping to go back to add on. So that because I've really enjoyed education and teaching the younger ones it is something which is fun. More so these current days, unlike our days, whereby whenever you could see a teacher as if you have seen a stranger, you feel inferior. But as per now, life is very okay.
But why would they act like that way back?
During that time, what I can say, someone who has studied and qualified could see himself as someone who is very, very special. Of which you
as if
feel
the
as
world
if
was starting.
The world was starting, they could feel as if they are a class ahead. But now in the current situation, you find that even younger children, they are updated, they're in the system of .com, and as per now, we interact with learners, we talk to them, and we find that they can easily understand you. If they have a problem, they can easily express. But during those days, I think the world was still ancient. But in this modern world now today,
teachers could beat.
They could beat.
Teachers could act as if they're angels from heaven.
Yeah, when you hear that you are near in the staff room, you first have
the
to pray.
The teacher could stand outside and we would all be in class. Like teacher is outside. Whoever peeps and looks at the teacher, someone would just be where they are because of that. But I remember in my senior 2, there is a school. I love that school so much. Though it no longer exists. I remember that teacher could give us so much work. But the challenge was this teacher, indeed, she could give us like 10 pages. Or no, in fact, half a book. She wants us to complete it when she comes back, prep time. So even other teachers got merciful, and they'll be like, okay, since it's my time to teach preps, you people, instead write those notes. We were so much scared of her because she could come with a big stick like this. But I was even wondering, because even the all other teachers could see what she was doing that was not right. But she could be wild. She could enter the class, check the books. There is a way she could beat us wildly. But when we reached our senior 2 third term and they told us she's not coming back, my goodness. I think that is that day we felt like. So when they brought a new teacher at school, we were all like, So natubuza, you people, mulikuwa na labanga, we are far from where we are supposed to be.
Yes.
You understand what I'm trying to say? We were very far from where we are supposed to be.
Yet you could copy, but no, without even understanding what you're copying. I think so.
I think that is my first time to love history because when she came, she took us process by process. We had the notes as if we had notebook. So we started like, okay, so where? Saidi, I'm just giving an example. So we could go through mpola, nechituyambako picking a history, right to picking. The performance she wanted, I think she gave her credit to someone else. Because she didn't go any further until we are to picking her up according to where I know Tukole. But I don't know why there's so much harsh.
Maybe personal character. But at times, actually during the day.
Personal character?
Yeah, maybe it was her personal character.
Hey, but I think when you come at work, you have to live.
That is it. And that's what we do. The teachers of today.
Okay.
Children, they know, even if they have committed a crime, they rush and they say, teacher, I'm sorry. Because they know you will listen. But during our times, that sorry cannot work.
A teacher could come with 10 sticks.
Very well. Teacher tells you, I've given you numbers. You had a mathematics teacher. By then, goodness. Mathematics section, he used to have 30 questions. Unlike today, there are 20. And you could say every number in section A, any number you fail, it is a stick. So if you get 5 out of 30, you are going to get 25. In mathematics,
do you still draw these lines half in a book? On a page, then there is how you used to divide these lines. When there are 2. But we had that teacher, when you're supposed to multiply a number, it is supposed to be the same as this line. So that when you you draw these two lines of the answers, they have to collide.
With the other one.
Me, personally, I didn't understand the math at any given point because those people are so okay, how can I like ngabanyiga nnyo. That pressure we used to have
from the teachers.
You don't get anything. You just look at ngana kyasomeseza kyennyini kye yakamaliriza
bakubuuza tukitegeera naye ng'embeera omusomesa gy'ataddewo bwe wali obuzibu. Actually, during my study, I loved the mathematics so much. And when I started working, I got a vacancy. Since I told that I was so close to my tutors. So when I started working, I was in the village. I called one of my tutors. I said, now you see, I'm working here, but the payment is too low. They said, hey, okay, I'm going to see how you can connect you to Kampala. So when I came in Kampala, I asked her, when she got from a school, I asked her that, madam, which subject? Because I wanted the mathematics. He told me, which subject did we teach you from the college that you should teach this one? As a teacher, you must be spiral. So just go and work. So when I reached, they gave me social studies. But social studies, I never had much problem with it, though I loved mathematics most.
That was the first priority.
It was the first priority. So when they gave it to me, actually I started teaching. So wherever I could do, from one school to another school, they also gave me SST. So when I wanted to change it from there to go to another school, they said, for us, we have mathematics. I said, it has been long. I don't teach mathematics. You like score. They said, it's okay. Give me the paper. They gave me a past paper with PLA. And I used to teach actually lower classes. I used to teach in lower classes. And they gave me PC. I said, it's okay. Let me do what I can. And sincerely, that day, we were 3 teachers. Others, there were P7 teachers who have been teaching that very subject. Me, I was teaching from, because my CV could indicate the areas I've been handling. And I managed to score 88. And those ones who have been there, they were below me. What? Then the other man asked, but what's wrong? Because even the numbers I failed, as if I was missing just a few steps. So when I explained to him, he said,
you teachers also, they give you interviews.
Yeah, even when the teacher is coming here, he say, I teach this area, he says, fine. We give you a paper, competency paper to say. What? Because we don't, so maybe even the document you have, you forge it before we cross-check them. You need to show us. You write exams, we mark. We see your score. From there, we take you to class. We call other teachers, they act as children. You deliver to them. How do you control your class? Do you reward your learners? What's your voice projection? What is your attitude? Because with teachers, they do things that annoy you. Then it's how do you react? And you say, the way he has reacted here, if it was a pupil, this one would do harm our learner. So, so we do interview them. It's not a matter of coming, you enter and start teaching. It is process by process, as we said at the beginning. So that is it. But I've loved teaching. And to other people outside there, you see, somebody said that, you see now teachers are always poor, they don't have money. But the problem, some people fail to have the financial discipline. The little they get, when they spend extravagantly. Then at times, even they fail to calculate what they earn. Because when you come here, we may say, we are going to pay you 600, for example. Then on the 600, you say, weekly allowance, we shall give you 20,000.
That is too much.
We give you breakfast. Actually, it's not too much according to the Uganda of today.
I understand. But it is ready.
So we give you breakfast, lunch. For those teachers who have teaching preps and so on, if you need lunch, you can as well get it from school. We give you accommodation. So at times we forget that accommodation now in Kampala, there's no house of 100, at least 200. So when you sum up to yourself, you find that someone is earning like $1 million. Then someone tells that, me, I work somewhere, I'm earning $1 million. But on $1 million, he has to pay rent. Where he works, has to put in transport. At the end, he's earning less than 600. So for those, as a head and normal, I give teachers some career guidance to help them develop. And we have always developed together. So teaching actually, maybe it was a calling from Allah, and I've really enjoyed it.
Okay, Alhamdulillah. So here we are now at we are after. Was that after? Are you?
To okay, becoming a head teacher?
No, we've not yet reached there. Like when you called someone and told them that maybe in the village they give us little money.
Actually, I taught in the village for 1.5 months. That's when I saw the situation. Actually, by then they could give us 100,000. They wanted to give us 80,000. Now 80,000. I said, no, I will stay home. I go and do the digging, maybe until I get at a better place. Because after struggling with all the studies, then they say give you 80. Say you come look for 100. Someone said maybe as you gain experience, you get a school. You don't stay home. You start working. So I worked for 1 month. Even before the month ended, now I started connecting.
You came to Kampala.
I came to Kampala.
You go to school that is much better.
I go to a school which is because I was at 100. When I came, they gave me 200. Then I saw now there's some improvement. So in that school, they didn't provide accommodation. So when I work now 200, you could pay rent by then like 80,000. Then so again it was still low. Then I said, I want to settle, but still the condition is not okay. I'm going to say, no, they give me accommodation and they give me maybe like 210,000 a week. Say, at least now here I get 5, no accommodation. So the next year, I looked for another school. So I got a school which gave me also 200, but this time around, they gave me accommodation. They could give me allowance, 10,000. Then they said, with feeding, you can get lunch, breakfast, lunch, and supper from day one to day last. If you want to change, it's upon you, but everything is provided. And I said, wow, this one is a bit better. So from there, I stayed in that school for 10 years before coming to Fahad Springs. And the system of the school, the payment mode of our director, I was someone, if he says I give you 10,000, he gives you 10,000. If it is time for payment, you don't need even to demand. Maybe if you have some issue, we are going for advance. But with salaries, it was automatic. The date was known, and he had a system that every year, if you are working well, I give an increment of 50. So if you stay for 4 years, that is 200.
Such a good man.
He was such a good man.
Kati, how did you manage saving? Because if most of the teachers, when they start teaching, they don't upgrade.
True.
They be like, okay, this is enough. This is what I want. I'll be having connections of this and this. What encouraged you to keep on upgrading?
What gave me more courage when I joined with Zeni Central, I said, if I want to get more money in education, what do I do? And even our directors could say, now you see, when you add on the papers, your value increases. And also we can sit and bargain. Secondly, if you want to enter like administration, because when you're an administrator, you see that the welfare sometimes is also better. It is also in line with the education, how qualified you are. So from there, I got a dream and courage of starting to do upgrading so that I can reach there. Because due to my commitment and flexibility, I started getting responsibilities from school, of which they could not pay for me for those responsibilities. You say you are the games teacher, you are the head of support staff, you are in charge of boarding section, so you have to monitor them. At first without a pay. So when they saw my services, now they started giving me some allowances for those departments. So from later on, as I was upgrading, now I reached a point, I was promoted to the DOS. So from the DOS, due to the fact that the school was an Islamic school, but the head teacher was not a Muslim, and the director sort of having a leader who is a Muslim, he made me to be the deputy of the school. but he knew there are some issues. In Islamic schools, you have to balance. How do you handle the teachers? You find the biggest staff, they are not Muslims, but we have activities as Muslims which should be promoted. And if a Muslim teacher comes, you need to give the first priority, because the activities that requires Muslim teachers. If you say we don't teach CRE, we teach IRE. A Muslim teacher can do it better since he has the knowledge in the religion. When you add on what he also studied, it becomes more better. So from there, I said no. Let the little, I saved the little, and the actual upgrading is not expensive. Because by the time I was there, each holiday would pay 300,000 for the 3 weeks.
How long is upgrading?
It is 3 years. 3 years.
How do you cope up studying and teaching?
Actually, it is always easy if the school is supportive. Because the director should be ready maybe to pay you. Even if you are going for holidays, at least should give you the money so that you can pay the tuition. And then secondly, you may report late to prepare for the term, so the school also has to be in for you. But as schools like me, I was just a classroom teacher. I know how we used to be treated, the same way I would wish to treat other teachers, to help them in upper grade. And remember, the government introduced a policy after 10 years. Grade 3 would be phased out. Remember, during our time, we had the grade 2 teachers, which was phased out. They are no longer teaching.
What?
Yes. So even grade 3, they are going to phase out. Now, as per now, whoever joins the teaching comes out as a diploma holder, not a certificate holder. So you have to go up to senior 6, then you join teaching. So that is it. So that's where we have reached in the education system. So from there,
let me ask. I'm sorry. Let me ask this.
Yes.
Through that process, had you married or you weren't yet?
Through that process,
because I'm looking so many things of responsibilities, teaching, family,
I get it.
Studying.
Actually, when I completed, school life, I had my friend. We were together at college. She was also doing teaching. I was in the second year, she was in first year. So when I started teaching, 1 year she had completed, we agreed that we make a family. So all along, I had a wife. I was married. And as I said, when you're a teacher, always you are given the first priority. You have free education for your child in a school where you teach. So it was easy. When it came to education, it became cheaper.
Yeah.
Even when we got the second born, where she was teaching, she had a bursary. Where I was teaching, I had a bursary. I said, I stay with this one, you stay with this one. And as I speak, my firstborn sat P7 last year.
Wow.
Completed it from here, and he got 4 aggregates.
Wow.
So this year,
what
he
a
joined
proud parent.
He's doing Quran memorization. Then after we join secondary level, inshallah.
So after, we shall reach there. So after IU,
yes.
Then what happened?
So after IU, I was still in the former school, doing my services as usual. Then after COVID, we are going to open officially.
Yeah.
I go.
By the way, how did you go through that?
COVID time, it was a bit challenging to us teachers. It's only that some of us, like me, I used to be in Kampala, but I could do some simple farming at home. So when it came to COVID time, when we went to the village, when it comes to feeding, food was there at home. So we needed some money for upkeep to buy other necessities at home. But another thing what helped us, in my former school, we had an association for teachers where we could save 10,000 per month, and we could give out that money amongst ourselves as a soft loans. When you pay back, they could put in some money. By the time we entered COVID, we had 20M.
What?
As an association. So after the COVID prolonging, we used on keeping some little we share to keep us pushing. Get some little we share, we keep on pushing. Then when they opened the partially, there is a certain lady had a child fallen sick for a half a year. Then when he was going back to school, they invited me to be teaching that child before COVID. So we had the connections. When they opened, children were at home. The woman called me, "See now, Teacher Muhammad, I wanted you to come be helping these children at home." Now I calculated before she would pay me 200,000 a month. But I was working, I had the other earnings. I saw as if it was little. I first prolonged for like a month. Then she called me back. She had trust in me because she loved me, that Harriet. Say now children therefore we shall see how to do. Say hey, okay. So I came to Kampala specifically to teach those children. The good thing, our director, those who stayed within Kampala, he provided them with accommodation. He could give them meals.
That man?
It's unfortunate that man died. He was called Mr. Badu. Actually, died of COVID during COVID time. But he had some garden plantation and so on. So teachers could go there. They harvest the food. At home, at school, there was food. You could stay around the school. He was a kind man. So he supported those who stayed around. He gave them meals and accommodation. So those who could go and teach some children around, they get some money for upkeep. You realize that they are alive. Actually, for us, when the village again realized for us we were missing, because now parents could call teachers to go and teach. So me, when I came, I went to that family. I could teach them. Now you have 4 children, and they could give me some money. They could give me 500,000 a month, and they could give me 70,000 for transport daily, because I could travel from Mundeje to go to Buziga Islamic around that area. So I kept on pushing life. Actually, life was going. Actually, when we opened partially, now the director could say, "You see, in COVID time, we are giving half pay. If you have been earning 600, we shall give you 300." Now I had in my chuba, I could earn 600 a month. I could say the money is real, but again we should look into what the director has been doing for us. And this is our job. We said, let us serve willingly. So that's how we pushed with COVID. But actually it was costly to parents to take care of children at home, because home education became expensive. Because we reached a point we could talk to the director. You get one room, you get like 20 kids. Each child is paying like 20 to 30. You are like 2 teachers. In a week, we could collect like 400 or 300. So earning 150 a week, that is 600.
That is a lot of
so money. Life could move on. I think teachers, actually those like in government schools, could say, now you see teachers of private schools, they are suffering. But somewhere, again for us we benefit, because for them now they are seated at home, the salary is going to come. For us we could do our VTuber, we get money, we
even the head is, even the brain is
boiling. Actually we could save, and we made some development during even COVID time. Because I managed to buy a plot in the village of 3M in COVID time. And people could say, where did this forget money? Of which for them they could not do that. So when we were there after COVID, as I told you, Mr. Lutai Ibrahim, the owner of the school, was looking for a Muslim competent teacher who can work as the head teacher in the school. So when we were sharing with the chairman board, it's called Mr. Sejengo Sulaiman. Then Mr. Sejengo, I said, I'll talk to Shei Bashir. Shei Bashir is also director of a certain school there. It's called Naba Junior School. Remember, we used to have our group, a Muslim group of teachers. We could for fitness, but for us we could play over the weekend. It was like a football team, whereby we had that Shei Bashir. I had another sheikh, teachers at Rich Dad, there were 3 sheikhs at Rich Dad, and the others within. So when they were looking around, then they said, hey, there's a man from their school, Creamland. He's a good teacher, and he's doing some good work there. Then said that chairman board said, which man? They said, well, there's one day they invited this mosque of Rubugum to play a football game at the ambassador's place. Is it this ends of Kajansi? I've forgotten a bit that man. He has been an ambassador of Uganda in Saudi Arabia. So we went there. Now Sejeng also knew me. So from there, they looked for my contact. They called me. When he called me, the director, I came. We sat down. We talked. We were almost agreeing on terms and conditions.
Before the school began?
Before the school began.
That was which year?
That was 2022. Before we opened up for that year. But I told him we are just from COVID. And unfortunately, our director passed away. And we had a lot of responsibilities we were taking. And the lady who was acting as the boss is going to be the director. But she needs comfort.
She was the wife.
And the comfort, it should be from us, the administrators, and the teachers at large. Maybe if you can give me a year, I first work with her, I live there in peace. Because we are neighbors, and we have been in good terms with them. It wouldn't look better, just live swiftly. So he tried to convince me, but I showed him the reality. And with the fact that you can't take a big office when you can't make a personal decision. So he said, okay, we shall see.
You're such a good person.
So from there, we worked. Actually, even I sat down with the former director. I was like, should I go there? I stay here. Now this one is convincing me. The welfare is increasing. There are some priorities. So let me talk to Madam, and I say, but I could not show him that I'm going to leave. But I could talk to her as a person. Madam, I have this and this and this. Can you look into my point? I started first term. I say, okay, we shall see second term. And second term came, I not talked to her. I waited to see her reaction. Not respond.
When he's still patient.
Yeah, I was patient, waiting,
Yeah,
because I promised. The director.
Yeah.
I was patient because we had
plans.
agreed. He was patient. Now in the second term, she did not respond. At the beginning of third term, I talked to her. I said, Madam, you promised me second term, but you didn't
react.
I don't know what happened. Say, hey, you see now, I forget. Now, but we shall see. So, say, hey, it's okay. I saw the third time we should do so. When she fed the first month, now I just I contacted Mr. Retire. Actually, because he could call me, I could say, no, me, I'm there. Don't mind. I know next year we shall work. So from there, I met him. We talked. We had much agreement on how the business will move. So from there, I had to inform my boss that I have some issues A and B. I was not direct that I'm from here, I'm going there. I may not be able to be with you next year. But kindly, I wanted to inform you in advance so that my responsibilities we can plan. Earlier, we have December holidays too long, so that we plan for it. So, why do you visit money? What I said, no, it is not money. Though I talked about it in advance, about such issues, but since don't rest, I said, no, it's not money, but there is a demand. I may not be able to be here. So it's not good to hear that I've left. You are not prepared, so you get prepared. So from there, when I came, the day we closed third term, the director called me here. I came here, it was around 5 p.m. We were here up to 11 p.m. We talked, then we agreed the following day. I had to meet the management for interrogation to go through there and then. So he took me to the board. We discussed, we shared with them. Now after sharing, I left them, they also discussed. Then later on, he told me, you have been given a vacancy here, and you are going to head the school. So it's better you come, you start preparing. That was December, when it's still early. So he showed me the house, gave me money for transport, shifting, and so on. I shifted. I came here in holidays. Teachers were not there. I met the only one teacher, the director of studies. I started preparing my activities, how things will move, and so on. So by the year started, teachers came, then they introduced them, the new head teacher.
Wow.
That was 2023.
Indeed, that was a blessing from the Lord.
Exactly.
That time, eh? Allah gives you all that time.
Yes.
What's yours indeed will always be yours. I've learned that.
That is it.
Yeah. So, through that process, all the schools we've been in, we are seeing elements of Islam through IU.
Yes.
Because that is Islamic status, status. So through these years that you've been in other schools, they've been not having these religious. Did they?
The first school never had it was not on the foundation of Islam. Then the second school, because the other school I served there for 1 year. Then I joined the Quran where I served for 10 years. So Creamland was taking Islam partially. They could teach children some basics of Islam. Can you read their Saruna and complete some verses of the Quran? But they could not sit for IPLE, that theology part of it. Now, the directors, he had friends, the Muslim friends. Whenever children could cross to primary 3, they could take away children. Why? They want children to see that they do Sabia and the other side, not one-sided. They take the two. Then he said, why can't I add in the sheikhs and so on, so that we can also start sitting IPLE, the Islamic Primary Living Education. So from there, he also started it. And Creamland, he also started it. Now, but for him, it was not so too Islamic. And he could treat it was not for, due to that, he put it there so that Muslims, they can at least get that service. But even other regions were also catered for. Unlike here, this is purely an Islamic school. We follow the principles of Islam. So, and it helped me, because I did not study all that in Islam in my primary school and second. But when I joined these Islamic schools, I befriended the sheikhs, and I took myself as a child. There's a way we taught, like in the village, how to read their Saruna. Then the sheikh told me, one of the sheikhs from there studied from Medina. He said, this style of reading is not common. It's in Uganda, but this is the new style. Alif B Tesen, Alif Ba Utau. So now,
but I think
yes,
as curriculums keep on changing.
Very well.
That was the old curriculum, I think, because that is also what I studied.
That's what I said. It's okay. For us, we go with the system. I started learning that year Saruna. He taught me. I had one of my boys in class. Whenever I could learn and somewhere I've forgotten, I would just call him and say, "You ready for me here?" As he's reading, me I'm learning. After I say, hey, very good boy, you can go. So I've learned a lot, and I've enjoyed being in an Islamic school, because it gives you a peace of mind. You can easily practice your religion as it is required. Unlike the other side, you find that somewhere things become hard.
So as an HM,
yes,
in Fahad Springs, Ndeji, how did you cope up with two sides? Because the other ways you've been a teacher, but now you're holding a big position in school. How did you manage both sides of secular and theology?
Managing those sides of both secular and theology, one, it is quite challenging, because the teachers of secular, they will come, they need more time in order to teach on what they want. The teachers of theology also, they need the same. But remember, you have to balance the two. If you go more of Islam, no secular, the school will collapse, because parents will not be seeing what they have paid. If they are paying for two, why do you give them one? Ngera bwe nkugambye nti masomero g'obusiraamu kati nga Fahad Springs Junior School tusambisa amagulu abiri, that is theology and secular. Wadde nga tulinamu ne Quran memorization, kati omuzadde waba asasulidde ebintu bibiri olina okibalansinga, alabe nti buli side zombi omwana akola ki, akola bulungi. Tukikola tutya? Tubanye okubalansinga obudde ku side zombi. Nti bwe tuba tulina preps mu wiki tulina ennaku 7, ennaku 3 eziba za Luzungu, ennaku 4 zibeera ez'Oluwarabu. Taboolwawo abasomeseza okuva ku ssaawa 1 paka ssaawa 3:30 buli obudde obusigadde tusomesa eby'Oluzungu. Ate n'ekirala ngezezaako nnyo okulaba nga tulina bashehe ba full timer oba ne baseeka ba full timer even weekends oba osobola obbafuna okulaba nga basomesa abaana eddiini yaabwe okusoma Qur'ani. Kuba kati omwana ajja nga asoma bino ebya mu class nti ajja kusoma fikihi luga ebwe bityo naye ne mu Qur'ani nabyo ayagala ebirala ebitali ebyo. N'owaba tali mu tawfiidh omwana gwolese ku Fahad Springs Junior School ng'abaddewo okumala emyaka 7 n'oba tanagenda mu Qur'ani nakubanga ati sayina mwejuzu nga 5 kati gwasa nti nga bw'amaliriza kagende mu tawfiidh. So we have tawfiidh at Fahad Springs. We teach theology and secular. Era tugezako kibalansinga. That's why tubadde tu excellinga bulungi. Alhamdulillah, Allah has been on our side for the past 2 years with our sitting center. We have been managing to get only first grades.
Alhamdulillah.
But all that through the effort of our teachers and the sheikhs. Naye nga that effort editi kyo ino kibeeramu nnyo okulaba nti what you promise the teachers and the sheikhs they get it in time. Katubeera hand in hand with the director. Tutwasazeewo tulina kukola kino na kino tulina okulaba nga kituukirira. Kuba omusomesa woba omusasula mu budde, you can demand whatever you want from that teacher or from that sheikh. Naye bw'oba tosasula bulungi then nawe kenyini oba otya omuntu omuteekako pressure ng'ataakubanja amazeeko omwezi gumu myezi 2 akyabanja kati bw'oba omubanja ki naye bwe muwe mu budde then omusabe kyoyagala era n'omusomesa akola ali willing era afuba nnyo okulaba nga akola ki emirimu gyagituukiriza nga bwe girina okuba.
Kati waliwo abazadde nga tebamanyi theology kyeki ate basiraamu
ekyo kituufu. Theology kigambo kya Luzungu naye siyo kitegeeza eddiini. Tusomesa ebyensi ne tusomesa n'ebyeddiini, eddiini ey'Obusiraamu. Kati eddiini ey'Obusiraamu nga bwe tugamba waliwo okusoma Qur'an, okukwasa Qur'an ku mwoyo yo eri independent. Waliwo n'okusoma biri ebirala ebyafaayo ebya Nabbi, okusoma olulimi Oluwarabu, nti luga, fikihi, tafsiri, ebwe bityo byonna tubisomesa. Kati theology eba ddiini kati ffe tuli Islamic theology kuba theology ekiyinza okuba ky'Abakristaayo. Abakristaayo nabo balina theology naye this is Islamic theology since our school is a Muslim funded school.
Okay. So what other activities do you have here? Kumanda the Bikopo,
I do appreciate our dear director, Mr. Rutaya Ibrahim. Okuva n'ekirowoozo okutandikawo essomero ly'Obusiraamu. Bwe yali atandika essomero lino mu 2018, ye yalemerako nti newe nafuna abaana 10 naye nga babusiraamu. Nga abasiraamu ti abatali basiraamu nga tebazze. Nze ngenda ttambula. Has always done it and the school has been always focused. Because when you say that Fahad Springs Junior School is an Islamic school, most people just think of only religion maybe. But we also involve our learners in games and sports. Last year, we won the Inter-Quran Schools Cup. Amasomero agali ku musinga ag'Obusiraamu gonna ge bumanyi nti
kyekiriwa
kyekino
kyekino ekinene
era kiriko Quran Schools Cup 2024 football. Empaka zino zibeera Kibuli. Era ekitongole ekitwala ebibuuzo mu Uganda ekyajjamu iya kyekiteekateeka kyekiteekateeka ekikopo ekyo era twakiwangula omwaka oguwedde. Tulina Sports Academy
of all the big schools that we have Obusiraamu
z'omanyi zonna ziwali oludeko around here. Era n'omwaka guli 2023 batukubira ku finals yali Al Soed Islamic School eyawan.
Are you sure?
Yatujjako but this time round
Al Soed
this time round fa bakiwangula kati tulina okidefendinga this year.
Inshallah, baby.
We have an academic we have a sports academy at Fahad Springs Junior School. Ate kyenjawulo ekiri ku Fahad Springs Sports Academy yaffe togisasulira ku fees gw'osasula okubeera package yonna ekikulu omwana alina interest coach waali tumusasula n'aba traininga twataddewo swimming pool abaana basobole okuyiga swimming because swimming is also a sports activity. It refreshes the mind but at the same time they learn. Tulinawo computer lab okuviira ddala ku nasi abaana basoma computer lab. Kyekiri ku Fahad. Actually, our target as Fahad Springs Junior School to see that it is an international school of its own.
By the way, tunabachogera tugamba Fahad Springs tetunategeera, is it a day boarding?
Fahad Springs Junior School is a day and boarding school. And it's a mixed school.
Ina daycare.
Tulina daycare weeri. Daycare nayo weeri. Kati we offer services and ekyenjawulo ekiriwo being that we are Islamic n'abatali basiraamu tubaaniriza provided they can follow the principles and the norms of the school because according to our culture we are an Islamic, pure Islamic school. We don't teach Siyara in school. We don't have prayers for that non-Muslims you go mukube mungalo mukolechi basically we are Islamic. Awe tutambulira. Fahad Springs Junior School somero si kulu nnyo. Just in 2018 COVID-19 ayingiramu, but when you see where we are growing. Why? We have a team which is focused and we have our director who is determined to see that we push Fahad Springs the next level. Actually, when you bring your child at Fahad Springs Junior School, because when you look at our menu, one, they take fruits on daily basis.
Fruit today.
Okay, it is also a special day that they eat fruits on daily basis.
What else have I missed out? Mangoes,
guavas.
Yeah, in pieces, you know.
In a variety.
Yeah.
So as you know, a healthy child, you need to get those. They eat on daily basis. At least one day in a week, they eat eggs. They take soya porridge. We give them milk. We give them breakfast and lunch for the day scholars. For boarders, they take morning tea, breakfast, lunch, evening tea, then supper.
Okay.
Then with the feeding, we feed them on matoke, rice, portion beans, meat, chicken, all of them. So the feeding is very okay. And the teaching is very okay. And the care as well. Our teachers, our matrons, our sheikhs, they are totally caring.
As we are winding up,
yes,
I have a question for you. You know, when you experience things and when you kind of reach your dreams, there is always what you're looking after more.
Yes.
We've been showing up, starting from the students of Fahad Springs up to any other child and whoever is going to be watching us.
Yes.
What is that mission that you have in your mind? You feel like, I want within this period, inshallah, to fulfill in Fahad Springs. Because I've seen what you've done,
yes,
but you know, when you keep doing the best, you keep pushing for the best.
Very well. It's a good question. Actually, when you look at Fahad Springs Junior School, it is not all that yet well known outside there, being that is a younger school. But due to how we have been doing and progressing, people have started knowing us. Our mission to make Fahad Springs a number one school in Uganda and in the whole world at large. As our mission states, to represent all other schools in the education system are on the globe. So in the whole world, in Uganda, we want to represent all the schools. So our mission day in, day out, is to see that we are among the number one schools in Uganda. And we want to see ourselves there in not more than 3 years, because we have the potential and the capability to make it. How shall we make it? One, to deliver effective services to our learners. We shall teach our learners very well, they excel. And through that service, because you have got very many parents recommending to us, hey, you want a school? Go to Fahad Springs Junior School. And our payments is not all that very expensive, but the services you get you can really appreciate. So through the hard work among the teachers, the sheikhs, and the entire staff, and the commitment of our director to fulfill his duties as a director, even has made my work very easy. Because when I'm guiding my team, let us do this, they do it willingly because they know at the end there is something coming behind. And the policy of the school develops with its workers.
Yeah.
If the school was making a profit of 10 M per term, and now it is making 25, even the teacher, his welfare has to change. And it has been changing and will keep on changing, inshallah.
Inshallah, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. I really had a good day here.
Yes.
From the time I came in up to now.
Yes.
We want to thank the director of Fahad Springs for being a good person. And personally, we want to thank you for delivering what is right. You know, most of the people think they are working, but they are not delivering what they're supposed to deliver. So since we went to 2018 and COVID blocked the way.
Yeah.
Then we came in back in
2022 for normal.
Yeah.
After 2 years, it operated for 2 years. It went down. Then it came back. There are like 4 active years.
Yeah.
But they have been progressing, as our motto states, that hard worker pays. You always work hard.
Pray, work hard, believe in yourself, have goals.
Automatically, and everything will be done.
I personally, there is something shortly, let me pass it. Do you sleep and concentrate? Because as a head teacher, you're the second person we are looking at. And we are not so much looking at the director, because you are the I believe you're taking the biggest part.
Exactly.
You always keep on having different things in your head, different minds. I think you dream, you sleep, you wake up, you eat.
Exactly. You can't even sleep for so long. Reason being, when you come up with something today, actually, when you're a head teacher, you have to be like a musician. When you bring a sounding song, then you have to plan. The next one should be more better. Otherwise, you go down. So you come up with an idea today. As you put that one on table, you have to think on other things. And as a school, it has the very many things, but you have to have the departments, the heads of sections, so that when there are issues, you have to dedicate. You say, Shay, do this and this. You say something representing, Shay, do this and this. You teacher, do this one. As life goes on.
Yeah. So we shall be back, inshallah, at Fahad Springs. We've been with the head teacher, Mr.
Bamweyana
Mohammed.
Yes,
Mr. Bamweyana Mohammed. We've been with him on the show, and indeed he's been having a very, very interesting story. I believe you'll also like it. Please, shortly within 1 minute. That's one advice.
Okay. Thank you very much. Nsanyuse nnyo okuba namwe olunaku olwaleero, naye nga sinasiibula. Kiki kyolabyeko ku Fahad? Isobola ogamba nti Fahad kino nkisiimye mukyongeremu ku maanyi. What you have liked from us as Fahad Springs?
I think I had Fahad Springs. I had fun. I was seeing vans of Fahad Springs.
Yes.
2022. I've known, that means it is now 3 years.
Yes.
And more of getting to know Fahad Springs, it was from my dearest friend, Hanifa Nachirija, assistant of the director of Fahad Springs.
Okay.
So my very first time to come here, it was a Friday, and I was so shocked because I didn't know I could find what I found. I thought maybe it is an upcoming school in that lazy tone, not actually Nganjijerega, but from that few years. But when I came at the gate, I was like, what? It is Fahad Springs indeed. So when I came in, I was so much welcomed. I think to me my comment would be nsaba Allah ayongere obbasitula. That is only I can say, because even today that Alban TV is here on the ground, we've been welcomed, we've been showed love, we've seen all departments, all children, they've been speaking English, Arabic, Quran recitations. What else should I say?
We are so grateful to hear that from you, and we are also very glad to have you here, and we hope we shall be meeting when Allah allows. As I wind up, I take this opportunity to send greetings to our dear parents who have always endeavored to clear the school dues in time. It is not easy, but committing themselves and pay that fees in time. I also thank my staff, the entire staff, for the teamwork and the hard work that has pushed Fahad Springs Junior School to this level. Without forgetting other people in the education sector, our colleagues whom we always come and we interact with them, and they have always supported us, because the special thing in Fahad Springs Junior School, if there is a function, other schools, we invite them, we share, because we deliver the service to the nation. And we shall also and always continue delivering quality education to the institution. As I conclude, I cannot fail to thank our dear Basa, who handles the finance, because he doesn't do it very well. Things can go wrong, but she has always done it very well. I thank her very much. And lastly, our dear director, Mr. Rutaya Ibrahim, is so social, a man who can advise you, share ideas, you can share laughters. How do you develop? Actually, for him, is a man who says, how do we develop together? As the school is growing, how are you, the teacher, growing? You
see, olaba yabuuza nze oba tuyagala tweyambe twegatteko tutya. And I told him like this. I told him on Friday, and he called me on Monday. Imagine. Ajati kale jangu tulabe.
So if someone is saying that, what do you add on the institution? When you add on, he's also ready to add on you. And he has always done it. And is someone who has always endeavored to clear our dues in time. Anyway, if I describe him, I can't complete. I'm really so grateful to have you here. Hope we shall meet again. Inshallah.
We are still together in any event. Do not forget Alban TV.
Inshallah, we shall be communicating.
Call away.
Okay, please.
Kale bannaye twongera nnyo okubanga tuli basimu gye muli okuva gye twatandikidde paka gye tukomye. Tubadde ku Fahad Springs. Alhamdulillah, Allah tumwebaza okubanga atuwadde ekyengera kino ekyokubanga tukyaddeko ku ibada ey'obusiraamu, kuba byonna bye tubaddeko bibadde bya ibada. Ittaqullaha, mbajjukiza okutya Allah mu butuufu bw'okumutya. Nga bulijjo, erinnya Mariam Nantume Fungiza Tukole. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.